Hi, my name is Tony Hugh. I'm here today to talk to you about Taiwan's military resilience.
Ukrainian president where war might break out next.
Taiwan.
Taiwan?
已进入金门禁限治水。
A record 153 aircraft surround the country.
Actually, the 2027 timeframe was mentioned by Xi Jinping. He's telling the People's Liberation Army to be ready to invade Taiwan.
祖国完全统一，
祖国统一是历史必然。
Doesn't mean he plans to do that at that time. They want to be able to project power. But there are so many gaps as far as military capability. But one of the biggest gaps is aircraft carriers. The coalition forces who might come to Taiwan's assistance is also growing. The Canadian ships, the French ship, the German aircraft, Italian ships, all these countries coming through, basically they want to let China know, I care about this region and this is not yours. Taiwan Strait is not yours. South China Sea is not yours. There's no way the Chinese People's Liberation Army will ever reach the point of the capability of the coalition. There's one scenario, personally, I feel is the most dangerous, where China might have a chance to win. Only one. That is with the support of the fifth element and pro-China element that's already in Taiwan. Fifth element is a word we use for spies and people who China deliberately sent into Taiwan, sleeper agents. They have a real job, looks just like everybody else, but they have assigned missions. Once the war starts, you're going to blow up this bridge and that bridge so Taiwan military cannot transit. You're going to blow up this power station, destroy the grid. You're going to destroy these cell towers. These are the people that day to day, it could be your neighbor. Everybody needs to be eyes that protect Taiwan's critical infrastructure to identify these fifth elements, because most likely you don't know who they are until the war starts. Well, it's going to be very hard for Taiwan to be caught off guard. There's only one scenario China might win, which is a quick strike, decapitalization, capture Taiwan's leadership and get a political surrender, because they cannot get a military surrender. If China is going to initiate attack on Taiwan, they must quickly, before foreign help arrives. That means they need to massively bring in the forces. And when they do that, that provides strategic warning. We believe we should have at least 30 days warning. Just like when the Russians were planning to invade Ukraine, the United States knew that weeks in advance, even though Putin continued to say, oh, we're just exercising. Taiwan is an island. When China massed troops across Taiwan Strait, it's easily seen. And you're having a ship to go from Fujian to Taipei, it takes 7 hours, 7.5 hours. It's very hard to surprise Taiwan in a military term. They might surprise with a cyber attack where it's harder to have early warning, but cyber attack alone is not going to bring down Taiwan. China will move troops forward, which can be seen by satellite, which can be heard on radios. The United States have a very strong tactical intelligence. We have systems. And Taiwan has a very strong human intelligence. When you combine the two, you get early warning. If you like the show, please subscribe and leave your comments below. Good. If they initiate blockade, that's an early warning. When they do that, I fully expect U.S. forces to be forward deployed, then also airplanes will be carrying critical supplies and landing. At that time, the war's over because China can start. If China initiated blockade, there will be corresponding economic sanction, just like Russian suffering. The Russian bank SWIFT code got removed. There's no international trade. And I fully believe countries like United States, Japan, and others might say, okay, your container ship, you're from China, you don't get to come into port. I stop processing your stuff. Stuff like that will cause so much damage to China during the period of blockade. Let's see who gives up first, right? Last year, CSIS ran Chinese invasion 24 times. Chinese failed every time. War game is a simulation based on a set of criteria, whether it's real or assumed. The physical pieces is World War II. You know, now it's using computers with inputs, most likely if it's tabletop. Based on these factors, computer will run it force against force for 10, 20 times, give you a probability. But in the games that I played in before, we have a tendency of overestimating the enemy's capability while underestimating our own because we want the worst case scenario. What if the enemy is able to take off my GPS? I lost GPS, which is very difficult. How do you compensate? You go back to inertial navigation, accomplish the mission without the GPS, for example. The way we do war game is we don't fight the scenario, we fight the war. So the scenario sucks, you fight the sucky ass war. A lot of people just grab it. Oh, you know, this is the outcome. Oh, and so and so lost. Well, so and so lost because of what? What was the assumption? When you run computer simulated stuff, garbage in, garbage out. The good thing is when you put in those assumptions, you can identify your weakness. If you lose, then you know this is a key factor that caused me to lose. I better do something with this. What other tactics will be more effective? So that's what we use the war games for. Absolutely, like I said, there's no winner in war. The damage to Taiwan and damage to China basically hurt all Chinese. Let's just prosper together in peace. They can stay in their communist system if they want. If they want to overthrow the communist system, even better. Taiwan will continue to prosper as a democracy. So the producer of Taiwan Plus wants to play a new game, and they want to test my military knowledge. They want me to say what this aircraft is. This is F-22. I believe it's the F-22, and it is United States' premier air superiority fighter. There's not a single jet in the world that can go against this jet. It has a very, very small radar signature. It is very fast, very maneuverable. It has done amazing things that people don't know about. Ah, yes. Ta-da! Ah, here's another one. This is a good one. This is a Chinese J-20, what they call their stealth fighter. But if you look at this aircraft closely, they are stealthy from the frontal side. To see this aircraft, you probably need multiple sensors from different angles to find it in the air. It is a good fighter, but let's see if it is the J-20. Ah, yes, it is the J-20, the PRC's first stealth fighter. This one's a tough one. This one's got me beat. This is an imaginary thing. I don't think it's real. I think you have to go into movies like Star Wars and stuff to see this. Even the aircraft itself is not smooth. This is probably for space. I don't recognize it, and I don't watch enough movies to know. So let's see what it really is. A trick question. This is a trick question. I don't know this one. I'm sorry, Transformer, and I'm too old to do Transformer. I should have brought my son. China does have the world's largest navy because their primary objective is Taiwan. So they're gonna have 350 ships in the Western Pacific around Taiwan. They're gonna face ships coming from the north, from Japan and Alaska, from Hawaii, from ground, from Australia, and US forces from the Indian Ocean. Numbers is numbers, and numbers can be erased one by one. You know how many anti-ship missiles Taiwan has right now? Thousands. 5-6 missiles against every single ship. There are enough numbers, okay? Aircraft, same thing. China has 1,500, 1,600 tactical ballistic missile, the medium short-range stuff that can hit Taiwan. But that's not the real capability because how many launchers they have. So let's say every missile they have worked, they launch 600 missiles. This missile is gonna hit a mango field, let it go. This missile is gonna hit Jiayi Airport, I'm gonna knock it down. After the first strike, the base that they have to go back to reload the missile, what do you think is gonna happen to that? It's gone. They're not gonna have a second shot. Taiwan is an ideal location to execute a defensive war because around Taiwan, it's just sea. If they want to cross the 180-kilometer Taiwan Strait, they have no place to hide. So Taiwan has what we call perfect kill zone. So you have a massive force. Fine, come over. Taiwan Strait will determine the outcome of the war. I fully believe Taiwan will win. Number is just a number. Capability is different. And Taiwan's self-defense capability is truly, if you look at the overall, second to none. Big mistake. Every country will act to protect its national interest. Ukraine is the breadbasket of Europe. So it is actually a critical issue for the Europeans. But for the US national interest, other than helping our friends, it doesn't directly affect the United States. Taiwan sits in the middle of the first island chain. If the United States can protect this democracy, the prestige of the United States in Asia will be down in the drains. 23 million people on Taiwan is the United States' 8th largest trading partner. 8th. We do more business with Taiwan than the 1.4 billion people in India or France or United Kingdom or the huge country of Brazil. Don't use the Ukraine example or United States stayed out and all that stuff to compare with Taiwan. It's totally different. Well, day-to-day maybe, but US forces has many bases in Japan. China has identified those bases as centers of gravity. If China strikes Japan and Japanese people die, this will change. Not just China. Our adversaries have identified many of the US overseas large bases as center of gravity because they can cause significant degradation to US capability. Just like Japanese when they strike the Pearl Harbor because they identified Pearl Harbor as a center of gravity. Philippines, for example. The current president have opened up at least 9 bases for US access. So will Japan participate in the defense of Taiwan? Yeah, if their bases get attacked by China. Even if China do not attack Japanese will provide logistics support to US forces. You can use my gas, you can use my bombs and bullets, use my stuff. I fully believe Japanese will be helping US forces. There is a resistance to join the military to help defend Taiwan. And that's unfortunate because, like in the United States, parents want their kids to join the military just like the father did or the grandfather did. I need to toughen you up. You stayed home, mama wash your clothes, make your bed. You need to get out and become a man. When you come back, you're ready to get into society and work because now you have self-discipline. I believe Taiwan's training will toughen young people and get them ready for the real world. And in the meantime, you contribute to the national defense. So I think that's what Taiwan needs. The defense budget, good, but some of the budget need to be spent on this type of activity where you can build up patriotism. For Taiwan, especially the enemy that Taiwan is facing, China, Taiwan must build resiliency. They can impose certain things on Taiwan. It's okay. I'm survivable. I'm still here. I'm not giving up. It is true. And it's just not Taiwan, it's United States too. FBI has proven that China flood the United States with radical information for both the conservatives and the liberal to tear the United States apart from the inside. And Russia's doing that too. And they're doing the same thing in Taiwan.
Christopher Wray, the FBI director you see here, is going to be in front of a House Select Committee today, issuing a warning, it's expected, about Chinese hackers preparing to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm. There's an advanced copy of his remarks that reveals targets to be water treatment plants, electrical grids, oil and natural gas pipelines, and transportation systems. He says these Chinese hacking efforts extend just beyond technology.
They're not feeding disinformation to one side. They're feeding it to both sides. So the blue camp thinks, oh, the green side is doing this. Oh, they're so awful. And the green side is, oh, blue camp is doing this. Many of these are disinformation. Most people think of war is when things are blowing up, people are getting killed. But as far as China is concerned, the war is already going on. Indeed, compared to physical war, disinformation might be even more important issue. What do you think?
Disinformation has been a negative impact not only in Taiwan but also to global world.
If you like the show, please subscribe and leave your comments below.